We're going to be talking today about all the different video analytics and artificial intelligence solutions that we have for the stadiums and events. My name is Álvaro Mocholi. I'm responsible for international sales for the company Grecom Technologies. And then also I would like to let you know that today the webinar is going to be recorded. So for those people that are registered, I was not able to attend. So we can share with them not just the presentation, but also the video, so in case that they want to review it. Okay, so let's start. The first thing that I would like to do is to do a very brief introduction of our company. Okay, our company was founded in 2005. We are a company that is specialized in developing real-time image analytics, and we are very specialized on thermal imaging and radiomet or thermographic imaging. That is our biggest area of expertise. Although we also have solutions with day and night cameras or optical spectrum cameras. Also in Grecom, what we do is besides selling the solutions that we sell, we also market solutions that we don't have the capacity or we are not planning to develop. Okay, and then also that can fulfill our portfolio of solutions. So sometimes when we go to clients, big clients, so we can offer a complete portfolio of solutions. So in one shot, we can make a larger business. Okay. We have over 30 different analytics developed up to date, okay, which I will explain you later on. We export to 64 countries. So our biggest areas of the most consolidated areas for us are the Middle East, North America, South Europe, and South America also. Okay, those will be the four areas that we are more consolidated. As I said before, we are developers. We have our own R&D department. So besides developing our own solutions, we also can customize the solution according to the customer needs, especially when we go to big projects. Also, we have our own integration department, which is responsible for integrating all our solutions with existing security platforms, VMSs, access control platforms, devices, and so on. Cameras, new cameras that come up, and so on. So as for the, whenever we sell the license, it's very important that the price includes the setup and the fine tuning. So this is kind of like a turnkey solution. So whenever someone buys a license from us, we will do the setup and the configuration. We always do it remotely. And then in case that we are not authorized to access to the facility remotely, usually we either travel or we either train the people of the installer, of the staff of the installer that is doing the project, and then we supervise it with them. And then also we have the pre-sales, which is responsible for supervising that all the cameras are deployed correctly, orientated correctly, and so on. And then the after sales and project maintenance is the department that is responsible for solving any potential problems that might show up, or in case that is a critical infrastructure, usually what we do preventive maintenance. So these are all the different lines of analytics that we have. We have solutions for perimeter surveillance, solutions for thermal cameras, for day and night cameras, and also for PTZ cameras. They can run embedded or server-based. We also have maritime solutions. This is solutions to detect floating objects, small boats, especially objects that the radar is not able to detect. And also this solution can work on fixed or PTZ cameras. We have two VMSs, one with artificial intelligence and one without artificial intelligence. The one with artificial intelligence, basically what it does is records 24 hours, 7 days a week, and then just registers all the events of all the analytics that are connected to that VMS. And the VMS with artificial intelligence, what it does is auto-classifies the objects, meanwhile is recording. Okay, so I will explain you later on, because this is one of the solutions that we're gonna we're going to introduce you for today's webinar. Also, we have a solution for cybersecurity. We are more specialized on data loss prevention. This is one very unique solution that I will also explain you later on. Also, we have solutions for facial recognition. So we have access control, ticket validation, demographic analysis, face mask detection, and so on. Automation and safety, we have solutions also. On this case today, we're just going to be going over a few of the solutions that we have for this area. We have fire prevention and detection. We have two solutions, one for industrial scenario and another one for forest scenarios. And then we have on the health, we have human temperature control that given this pandemic situation has been very highly demanded. And this is the kind of solution that we can monitor the people and detect those ones with high temperature. This days ago was very demanding. Nowadays it's not so demanding, but this is a solution that we have in our portfolio. Okay, so today what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you all the different solutions that we have for the stadiums and event. Okay, so what I did is I divided on several areas. So on outside the stadium, so we have for example, the perimeter surveillance that, as I said before, we can work with thermal or day and night cameras. In most of the cases on the stadiums, since the perimeter is not so large, usually we use day and night cameras, which is more accurate. We can, we can auto-classify humans, vehicles, and then we can discriminate animals, vegetation, raindrops, insects, and so on. Also, we can have the ticket validation. We do this with the face recognition. Here, basically, what we do is kind of like a double identification. So what we do is we associate one face to one ticket. So whenever that person reaches to the entrance, if the identity of the person that bought the ticket does not correspond with the identity of the person that bought it, the person cannot access. So we do this for two main objectives. First of all, to prevent the people that has created problems on previous events and is not authorized to come into the stadium any longer, so we can detect it in case that someone gives them the ticket and access with some other people ticket. And then also to prevent from reselling of tickets, okay? Sometimes, there is a lot of business going on with the reselling. And then, so what we can do is we can prevent from people reselling. Okay, also we can have the entrance with the facial recognition. This is something that we are currently working with the Spanish League here in Spain. Basically is to speed up the access to the facility or to the stadiums. With this solution is a device which is a plug and play that we will go more in deep after that. We can guarantee that access to between 35 to 45 people per minute. So it speeds up all the process of entrance. And then also on the parking, we can monitor the cars, the license plate recognition, and so on. And then also we can do forensic analysis on the surroundings of the stadium. So in case that there is an incident, we can detect and we can monitor suspicious people or a given person. In case that someone got lost, we can identify that person. And then on the stadium halls, we have, of course, the surveillance, the perimeters, and the surveillance of the halls. People tracking, so we can know how people are moving, people counting, heat maps, and then also we can do statistics on how many people came in, how many people bought drinks or food on the snack bars, and then what is the ratio, the conversion ratio. So we can do some statistics on it. And then on the bleachers, we can do forensic analysis. We can do facial recognition to identify in case that there is a fight or there is any problem on a given bleach. So what we can do is we can identify that person. Okay, and then also we can have flare detection. Okay, that is another one of the solutions. And then for the offices and employees, we can have access control through facial recognition and then cybersecurity. This is for the data loss prevention. So just as you know, on the stadiums, they manage a lot of personal information as names, personal address, identification numbers, credit card numbers, and so on. So this is just to prevent from employees to follow the IT policy and then just don't jeopardize the all the information or the personal information or the personal data that the club has. And then also, as you know, most of the stadiums, they have a substation. So here what we're doing is we are monitoring all the components so we can guarantee that all of them are performing as expected and there is not a major failure, so we can prevent from a major failure. So basically what we do is we analyze the temperature of all the components, and whenever we detect that one of them overheats, that means that on the middle, on the short term, this component is going to create a problem. So we can anticipate to a major failure. Okay, so we divided the presentation in two areas. First of all, we're going to be talking about security solutions, and later on we will be talking about safety and let's call it people tracking, monitoring, and statistics. Okay. So the first solution that I would like to do is to talk to you about the VMS that I explained to you with artificial intelligence. Okay, this is a solution that was the Red Dot winner on 2021 as the smarter solution. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what is a VMS with artificial intelligence. As you know, normal VMS is a solution that basically records 24 hours, 7 days a week. And then what it does is just registers all the events that all the analytics that are connected to the VMS generate. Okay, a VMS with artificial intelligence, for example, whenever it's recording, is tagging or is adding a tag to each one of the objects that is recording. For example, if it's a person, will register as a human, will record the face, will record the type of clothing, if he's wearing short sleeve, long sleeve, jacket, trousers, shorts, if he's a male, if he's a female, the color of the clothing, and so on. So all this is being recorded automatically. And then also in case that is on a parking lot, you can record the type of vehicle, the license plate number, the color of the vehicle, and then also the model of the vehicle. So whenever you want to do some forensic search, basically the only thing that you need to do is to enter whatever you're looking for, and then automatically the VMS is gonna download all the images that matches with your search criteria. Okay, so for example, imagine you're in a stadium and then a kid gets lost, or there is a fight and you want to search for that specific person. What you can do is you can upload the face of that person, and then automatically the system, what it's gonna do is gonna search for that face. So all the cameras that that person passed by automatically is gonna tell you, okay, this is the cameras that record this face, and you can also know the tracking of that person within your premise. The same can be done with vehicles. So in case that you want to search for a specific vehicle, license plate number, or a specific type of vehicle, you just need to enter it into the search tool, and then automatically the system will come out with the results. Okay. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the architecture, how this solution might work. We have two options. We can either go with our own cameras. The good thing about it is that the analytics are embedded into the camera, and also the recording is embedded into the camera. So, okay, so as for the recording, you can have 30, 60, 90, and 120 days. And in case I use our own cameras, you don't need to use the server. You can go directly through the cloud. In case that you want to go through the server, you can also use the what we call it the cloud connector of the server. Okay. In case that the project already has the analytics, the cameras deployed, we can use it, but we will need always the server. And on this server, we'll have the analytics and the recording will be done on it. Okay. And then you can access the server through any workstation that is connected through in the same network, or you can access through the cloud. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put you a video on how the Smart Search tool works.
Welcome to AVOware. Today we're going to cover search. Search is a tool that allows us to search for specific events that may have occurred across one or multiple cameras. This allows us to search for things like the appearance of a person or a vehicle, a line cross event where a vehicle or a person has crossed a specific virtual line that we've drawn, loitering events where a person or a vehicle may have been stationary for too long in one place, indicating something like an idling vehicle that may be outside of a loading dock or outside of an airport, or a person that may just be acting suspiciously in an area that they should not be. We can also alert on sound detection, and this leverages the onboard sound detection in our AVOware cameras that can detect things like glass breaks, loud noises, smoke alarms, and many more audio models that are being added with each release. So, for example, if we were to create a line cross search, what we can do is we can choose what kind of objects we want to search for. We can stick with any or go down to a specific person. This person can be specified based on gender or based on the attire that they're wearing in the top or the lower quadrant of their body, and you can combine both colors as well, looking for people in uniforms or based on a description that was given by a third party. We can also leverage an image. If someone has captured a cell phone image of this person or vehicle, we can upload that in order to do a search based on these detections. Then we can choose where we want to do this detection. So this detection can take place, for example, on a camera in a parking lot. It could also happen inside of a building. So if we were looking for people that may have been in front of a register, we can choose one or multiple cameras and then choose the line that we want these objects to be crossing in order to qualify for the detection. We can choose the direction of travel of this object. And in the case of something like a convenience store, if we're just looking for anyone that is walking out, as this person just did in this example, we can unclick the entering direction so that we're only looking for the direction of travel out the door. And then we can choose the time period that we're searching for. This can be anywhere from specific minutes down to a block of time that may be days or hours. And in our case, when we're just looking for the last 30 minutes worth of search, we're presented with all of the events that correspond to our search criteria. So in our case, we're looking for people that are exiting. And if I highlight over that video, we're going to see the people that are exiting. I can click into this video to see it in greater detail. This will allow me to see not only the event that occurred, but the object within our floor plan as that user exits this building. I can then click to act on that activity. But we can also see in our parking lot as a person was crossing that virtual line that we created. So this allows us to very quickly get to the events that matter to us and then act on them. These different video clips that we have captured here can then be exported. So we can take the relevant information by clicking the plus, and we can choose to share or save. So we can export this as an MP4. We can share this as a publicly accessible link. We can bookmark it so that these video clips do not get deleted by typical retention. And of course, we can also do similarity searches if we want to look for people that are similar to the objects that have been detected in these environments. Now you're also presented with the ability to create a rule. We have a whole nother section dedicated to creating rules based off of searches as well as other parameters. I implore you to check that out.
Okay, we're gonna move on, and then the second solution that we would like to introduce you is the face recognition. Okay, so this is a solution that we can guarantee a 99.87% of accuracy. This is something that has been certified by the NIST. And then in case that they go with the face mask, we can guarantee a 98.6. Okay, it follows with all the privacy regulations. Is compatible with all the operating systems, Windows, Mac, Linux, Android, and iOS. We have our own APIs and then also we have the SDK in case that we need to integrate it with an existing platform. And it's flexible, can work on premise, cloud, or it can work hybrid. And then it's one of the fastest solutions on detecting, is one of the most accurate, one of the fastest, and then one of the solutions that less computing requirements needs. Okay, so this is a draft where I can show you that here, as you can see on the upper right corner, is where we are located. So on the vertical, you can see this is the requirements, the GPU requirements, and then on the right is how fast we detect. So as you can see, we are one of the lowest requirements, and then also one of the fastest. Okay, and then in order to pass the certification from NIST, you need to have a margin of error, or like, let's call it false alarms, less than 0.0285. And in our case, we achieved 0.0027. So we are one of the top face recognition solutions in the market. Okay. So for the stadiums and events, what we do, we are deploying this device, which is called the SCAN. The good thing about it is this is a plug and play solution. So basically, you just need to connect to a PoE cable, and then put it next to the gate, and then upload the database. So you can support, as you can see here, up to 20,000 people. Okay, it's compatible with OSDP or WGAN. So that means that we are compatible with all the main access control platforms. You can do the enrollment through any tablet, mobile, or either any laptop or workstation. Also can detect tailgating, works indoors and outdoors, and then also can detect anti-spoofing. So this device, what it does, it has a 3D camera, and infrared lighting, has a microphone and a speaker. So here what it does is the 3D camera is able to distinguish between a real and an unreal face. So in case that someone is trying to supplant the identity of one person with a picture or with a video, with an image on a smartphone, this system will be able to recognize it, okay? And then will be able to, I mean, in case that someone is trying to supplant the identity, will not accept it, okay? So we can do access control through facial recognition. We can do ticket validation. That means that you have like a double identification. If the identity of the ticket does not match with the face, you will not grant access to the person. Okay, you can do like blacklist. So in case that there is someone that has created the problems in the past that is not authorized or is no longer welcome into the facility, you can block it, or you can identify before it even enters into the event. Also, you can do demographic analysis, so you can classify the people by gender, age, and then also you can do heat maps, queuing time, dwell times, how much time they spend inside the premises. And then also you can do the facial expressions. So for example, imagine that you do some advertisement, so you can analyze if the people is happy, sad, and so on. Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next solution. This is the perimeter lookout. This is a solution which has artificial intelligence, can work with day and night cameras, or it can work with thermal imaging cameras. Has multiple detection rules, so you can work with intrusion, line crossing, prowling, or abandoned object. It auto-classifies persons and vehicles, and then also discriminate animals, vegetation movement, insects, shadows, or raindrops, or light changes. Okay, and it's compatible with all the IP cameras, either thermal or day and night, and is integrated with Milestone and also with Genetec. Okay. As I say, one of the key solutions also is the data loss prevention. Okay, this solution has been it was the US Cyber Command winner. So out of the 7 categories that were on this contest, we were winners of 7 of them, and then also we were winner of the overall solution. And then also is JITC certified, and also it has compliant with an NITF. And it was also the Cybersecurity Awards winner on 2021. Okay, so what does this solution work? As you know, on stadiums there is a lot of personal data that you manage. I mean, you manage a lot of names, addresses, credit card numbers, ID numbers. So there is a lot of information that can be that is very sensible to get lost. Okay, so here what we do is we sit down with the company, we develop an IT policy, and then we just like do kind of like a checklist of all the activities that they want us to detect. So for example, imagine that someone does a screenshot, someone is printing some document that is not authorized to, or someone is trying to download files or send documents through mail which are not protected, accessing to platforms that you are not authorized to. Whenever something, there is alarms, actions, or file access. I mean, whatever. I mean, the company doesn't want to people to be fooling around. Here, what basically we do is we develop an IT policy. We download in each one of the workstations that we want to monitor. We download the software, and then whenever we see that any of that activity that the company wants to detect, whenever we detect it, automatically we report it to, let's call it, to a dashboard or to a command server. So you can see on real time which one of your employees is not following the IT policy. But it's not, this is a solution that is not just a matter of detecting. We can also interact. So that means that in case that we detect something, we can block it, we can isolate the computer, we can send an alert to the employee, or we can do a screenshot. So we can prove to that employee that was not following the IT policy of the company. Okay. So this will be all the different solutions that we can offer from the security perspective. Now we're gonna move on into the safety. So here, one of the solutions that the demand is what we call it the substation monitoring or transformer monitoring. So here, basically what we do is we monitor all the key components that are inside a substation. And then whenever we see that there is one of those components that exceeds the average temperature that we have set up the analytics for, that is when we trigger the alarm. Okay, so what we do, this is kind of like a preventive maintenance. So basically what we do is whenever we see that one component is overheating and it's a matter of having a major problem coming up, so what we do is we detect it and then we send the maintenance crew so they can repair. So before we have a major problem, they can change that component and prevent from a major failure. Also, another one of the solutions is to detect on all the employees that they're wearing the right equipment. That is protective boots in case that they need to wear helmets, or reflective vest. So whenever they enter into the facility, we can just monitor and make sure that all of them are wearing the right equipment. Okay. Another one of the solutions that we can do is the people tracking and statistics. Okay, so this solution can work on the cloud or it can work on premise also. So here, basically, what we do is we monitor how people are. I mean, for example, in this case, this is with retail shops, but we can also do with the stadium. So, how many people visit all 4 shops? Okay, how many of them were adults? How many of them were child? Okay, so what is the average people inside the shop? What is the average time that they spend? How many tickets that people that came in generated? So you can have like a turnover ratio. So this is the turnover ratio here. And then also you can have like a conversion. I mean, that is the people that is recurrent or has repeated into the shop. How many of them have repeated? Also, you can do people management or queue management. So how many people are in the queues? Okay. What is the average flow? How many people they stay? The mean stay. So there is the stay is 25.2 seconds, okay? And how many people abandon the queue, okay? So this is, for example, can be done for the snacks or like souvenir shops in the stadiums. It will be a good solution to use. And then also what you can do is do the street management. So how many people pass by the entrance of the shop, or how many people pass by the snack bar? How many of them came in? Okay, how many of them repeated? Okay, and then how many of them has come on the past? Okay, so all these analytics can be done, and then also we have kind of like a complete dashboard where you can see a resume of each one of the shops or each one of the stadiums and events. Okay, here I'm going to share with you some success cases that we have done. So on the law, defense and the law, we have done projects with the FBI in the United States, with the cybersecurity, and then also with the VMS with artificial intelligence, the NATO headquarters, we have the access control. With the Rota military base, we have we do all the perimeter surveillance. This is a US and Spanish military base on the South Spain. Also, we have granted with all the perimeter surveillance with the Saudi Air Force, and also with the Spanish Navy, we do all the surveillance of all the facilities. With Saudi Aramco, which is the largest oil company, we have standardized our solution embedded into Axis cameras for perimeter surveillance. We have been standardized for that. On critical, I mean, we work with the Madrid International Airport. We do the perimeter surveillance. Telecommunications companies, AT&T, Etisalat, Hitachi, Facebook, Telefonica, which is the largest Spanish-speaking teleoperator. And then here on the statistics, I mean, here, for example, on public spaces, on Mobile Congress, Sagrada Familia, which is one of the places that are more visited in the world. Shopping centers, here we have a few of them. On the transport also, on the retail business, we have here several companies like Samsung, PepsiCo, I don't know, Levi's or Adidas, and so on. And then as for distribution, we have here we have distribution agreements with Anixter ADI, with Incomex, Ingram Micro, and then we work with all the main installers such as Prosegur, Securitas, G4S, AT&T, Hitachi, and I don't know, and some more companies here. So this will be all the different solutions that we can offer for the stadiums and events. Here you have my contact details. So you can, in case that you need to reach me, you can either do it through my mobile or you can do it through the email address. And then in case that you want to request a demo or a proof of concept of any of the solutions that we talked today, you just need to do it through the GRECOM website, or you can either send me an email. And then just to remind you that the price of the licenses includes the setup and configuration. So in case that that you need you want to test any of the solutions, just let us know. So in case that you have any questions, you can open your microphone or you can either use your chat. Okay, so I will be more than welcome to answer all your questions. Any questions here? I know that there's not many people today on the call, but in case that you need to have any questions, or as for the licenses, it can be perpetual or it can work on the subscription model. So it's up to the client. So I see that there is no questions here. Okay, in that case, well, thank you very much for attending to today's webinar. I appreciate your patience. I mean, as I said, we will share with you the presentation and also a link to the video. And then in case that you need to go more in deep over any of the solutions, please feel free to get in touch with me, okay? So thank you very much once again.